Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Special thank to Diamond Wolf, the author of this story. Chapter 12. New Subordinates Talking, Velzard Pav. So then, how are you going to explain why you destroyed my road? TCH, you think I am going to AWNSER a lowly human? I'll have you know I am not a human. You think I'm going to believe your lies? He says and smashes the table. Velzard then directs a tinny bit of her aura at the Majin, which causes him to fall to the floor, even though it's a lot less than with the lizardmen, since she is not as pissed off, but still pissed her table was broken. Believe me now? Well then go back, tell your leader that if he wants to establish friendly relationships with me to come himself. TCH, muttering, I won't let you get away with this. Oh, by the way, what's your name? The Majin ignores Velzard, which pisses her off, but manages to hold back her aura, but it seems Milam couldn't and is releasing quite a bit of her aura, but the Majin is already too far for it to affect him. Milam, calm down. This will not be the last time we will be seeing him. Okay, Auntie, good girl. I'll have Shuna give you a much bigger dinner. Yay. You're the best, Auntie. 1 week later, in this week, Yum's party and Aren's party has arrived, and we sorted them out, and now Yum is the champion who defeated the Orc Lord to make us seems as friendly monsters are humans. Lady Rimuru, someone requests a meeting. Oh. Who is it? It is another dryad. She brings a warning. A warning? Does she perhaps mean that thing? Well, even if she does, it is no problem. Call a meeting. Of course, Sue says that and jumps into the shadows to call everyone else. Meeting. Okay, what is your name? My name is Tria. I have come to warn about the calamity monster Charybdis has revived. Charybdis. Oh, her. I remember her. That will be no problem. No problem. Yeah, no problem. I will deal with Charybdis, since currently only Diablo and Benimaru are capable of defeating her. I1. You speak as though you met them before, Lady Rimuru. Oh, I have. I was there when she formed from Veldora's magicules. You were there? Yeah. I was in the middle of fighting Veldora when she popped out of Veldora. You fought against the highest catastrophic class being in existence. He is actually the second strongest, but yes, I did. You defeated him. Oh yeah, I let him hit me with everything, but my magic took it all and I was hit a few times, and when I attacked he was defeated with one full-powered punch. 1. Back to how we will deal with Charybdis. Benimaru and Diablo will stay out of this, since I want to give Charybdis a will again, since she seems to have lost it, and the Kijans along with the High Orcs will deal with any of her summoned megalodons. Right. Great, well let's get to it. Milam, you can come with me. Yay. Trip with Auntie. Meeting dismissed. Once everyone had left, Velzard and Milam went off into the forest while everyone else went off to prepare. Auntie, what are we doing here? I will be summoning new subordinates to make this easier. Velzard says while activating a powerful demon summoning magic circle. This is. What their names again? Primordial demons. Right, them. You going to summon them? Yes, Diablo is the Noir Primordial. This magic circle will summon Blanc, John, Violet Primordials. Oh. Can I fight them? Can I fight them? No, you're going to let me fight them and then you can pick up a few things. Ah, okay. Now no need to be sad, I'll play with you later. Really? Yes, now quiet down, I'm going to summon them now. Okay. Velzard then proceeds to do as she says and summons all three at the same time, confusing them but quickly regain their composure. And who are you? I am Rimuru, and you are the John Primordial, I take it. You would be correct. Now prove that you're worthy of summoning me and fight me. Quiet down. I still have these two to address. You're quite calm. Surprising for a human that summoned 3 primordial demons. Well, first thing I would say is that I'm not a human, and if you become my subordinates you will find out what I am. Who? You think I would accept you to be my master, the Blanc Primordial? You talk as though you're high and mighty. Excuse me, did everyone forget about me? Oh right, Violet. Well, you 3 want to fight me? HMPH, only I would be enough, but since you're challenging all of us I think we can agree to fight 3 on 1. Well then let's get to it. Velzard moves first and teleports next to John, kicking her a few miles off into a mountain, while Blanc uses some death magic, but it has no effect on her, catching Blanc off guard, but quickly summons her whip, coating it in a deathly aura. slashing it at Velzard while Violet activates poison magic and rains down small particles of poison onto Velzard, who takes no notice as it doesn't affect her either, which just annoyed Violet, seeing as Blanc's magic didn't work either when suddenly John comes flying at Mach 5, ramming into Velzard, who blocks it with a single finger and throws her like a basketball into another mountain, and then activates her ultimate skill, Divine Ice King Cthulhu. And exponential reduces all physical abilities of the primordial demons, and they almost turn to ice and shocks them all, including John, who again flew back over, however never managed to activate the nuclear magic she was preparing. Well? Going to give up? What did you do? Why is my body so cold I can't even move my fingers? Oh well, I used an ultimate skill and reduced your internal temperature to minus 273 C. An ultimate skill? Even we only have 4 of those. Yet she managed to use one with no problem. I see now you truly are strong to use an ultimate skill with no restraint. She also managed to block both my poison magic and your magic. Yes, well, going to give up. As humiliating as it is, we have no choice but to accept defeat. We never even managed to make you take a step. Great. Well then let's get to naming, huh? Then Velzard names all 3, with John being Carrera, Violet being Ultima, and Blanc being Testarossa. You're really impressive. To name 3 primordial demons with no fatigue lose is even harder than using an ultimate skill unrestricted. Now tell us who you are. You said you would if we became your subordinates. Ah, right, that. Just call me Velzard, but in public Rimuru. Vel. They just stare at her in shock. Even if it's believed by humans and monsters that Veldora is the strongest true dragon, the primordial demons and angles all know that Velzard is truly the strongest dragon. We're at your service, Lady Velzard. Great. Let's head back to my town. Also, you might want to hold your aura in, since with you being named you're now high catastrophic class. Catastrophic. Ah, that's right, I need to assign the roles. The roles? Yes. You, Carrera, will be chief prosecutor. This is basically anyone who breaks the rules will be punished as how you see fit, or I or Diablo and Testarossa can overrule your judgment. As you wish, Lady Velzard. Now then, Ultima, you will be head of the prison guard and you will punish the people who Carrera sends to you, and if I personally send someone to you with no specifics on how to punish them, then punish them as you see fit. This will be fun. Thank you, Lady Velzard. And lastly, Testarossa, you will be my secretary along with Diablo. You will help me with affairs with other nations and sort any problems in my stead, so I expect the most out of you. I will live up to your expectations. Good, let's head back now then, since all this has been sorted out. Right. They make it back into town and Velzard calls a meeting with her subordinates to introduce the new ones. Lady Velzard, who are those 3 demons next to you? These will be some more subordinates. The yellow-haired one is Carrera, the white-haired one is Testarossa, and the purple-haired one is Ultima. Ah. Their aura seems quite similar to Diablo's aura, but they're of different lineage. Oh, I never told anyone, did I? Diablo and these 3 are the primordial demons. Hua. Well, that's that. These 3 will be our new subordinates. Of course, that isn't the only reason I called this meeting. Is there something else? Of course, I would like to offer gifting you all strength. How much strength are you speaking of? Around low, high catastrophic class. A few of them almost faint but quickly get back up since they're in front of their queen and feel they cannot be disrespectful to her and faint. Are you sure, Lady Velzard? To give even one person that much strength? Ah, it's no problem. I already gave Carrera, Ultima, Testarossa and Diablo high catastrophic strength. So many. Well then, who will take my offer? Benimaru, Shion, Hakuro, Diablo, Geld and Ranga accept, while the others believe they should gain their own strength, while the ones who accepted feel they should get as strong as possible to protect Velzard. Even if she doesn't need protecting, they want to save her the trouble of even needing to lift a finger. Well then, let's get to evolving. I will hold all of your auras and slowly give them back so you can learn to control such a big aura slowly instead of suddenly having all of this aura inside of your body. Right, Velzard then gives those who don't high Demon Lord seeds and then evolves them into true Demon Lords and gives each of them 5 ultimate skills, making them high catastrophic, low god class, with Diablo and Benimaru at the extremely low god class. I am making them stronger for an upcoming event, so don't bother telling me it's not canon scaling. I need them to be stronger than canon, so they will be stronger than canon. They then all fall down, evolving using their sleep to gather energy to become stronger than 8 of the 10 current Demon Lords. Leave them for a couple of days. Tomorrow we will visit Charybdis. We're going to do it without them? Yes. Diablo and Benimaru were the ones we originally planned to keep out anyway, so this has no problem. But what about Geld, Xian, Hakuro and Ranga? Raiga can work in Ranga's place and Shizu can work in the others' places since I believe she is strong enough to stop training now.
Is Shizu strong enough? You will see. Okay. The next day. Lady Velzard. Shizu, good to see you again. How was your training with Veldora? He is really strong. I could only hit one attack on him, yet he just brushed it off and did some weird hand signals and said, "Fire style, majestic flame destroyer," and a massive wall of flame came out of his mouth and burnt 4 miles wide. Sigh, what am I going to do with him? It was an amazing fire magic I had never seen before. Do you know where I can learn it? He learnt it from a book called a manga, from your old world he once visited. He visited my old world. Yeah, he visited 3 years ago in fact. Anyway, the thing I called you here for JS different. Alright, yes. You said it was an emergency, so I rushed over. Yes, can you fix my table? A Majin from yesterday broke it. And they managed to get away alive. I was tempted to kill them, but I had to stay strong and hold my figure as head of Tempest. That is impressive. I heard from Veldora he knew broke your table and he was killed on the spot and it took him 300 years to revive himself. Well, I had my reasons. He broke my favorite table. Oh, okay. Is there anything else? Yes, tomorrow I am going to send you up against Charybdis. Charybdis. Isn't that known for being stronger than some demon lords? She was quite nice 400 years ago, but for some reason she had her ego taken from her. I think it was from that Rudra Velgrind follows. Rudra. Isn't he the ruler of the empire? He did start making an empire 15,000 years ago if I remember correctly. He is very strong. I heard he fought one-on-one with Guy multiple times, but it always ended on a draw. Yeah, I remember that it was very underwhelming. Back to Thong with Charybdis. Remember not to kill her. I want to give her back her ego since she lost it a while ago. Not kill her. It might be difficult though. I can hardly manage to land one hit on Veldora, who is basically her father. If things get out of hand, I will weaken her and leave it to you. That makes me feel better. But how are you going to weaken her? Well, I could use my most powerful ultimate skill and lower her body temperature to below -273°C, as that is absolute zero, and freeze her completely. She also could have gotten stronger and that might not work, so instead I could use my other skills and then completely weaken her spiritually, which I would have to do since my ultimate skill only works on the physical body but she is a spiritual body. Sounds complicated. It can be unless you have another skill that helps you out in this situation. Open double angle bracket. Seal. Close double angle bracket. Open double angle bracket. Yes, master. Close double angle bracket. Open double angle bracket. What action should I take? Close double angle bracket. Open double angle bracket. Master should just leave it to Shizu Izawa as she is able to handle this. Close double angle bracket. Open double angle bracket. That's comforting. Thank you, Seal. Close double angle bracket. Chapter 13. Charybdis. Okay. Everyone in front of a stanza, or I guess flies Charybdis. Don't get carried away and attack her. Leave Charybdis to Shizu, says Velzard, cheering everyone on. Right. Everyone shouts back, motivated for the battle ahead. Now then, defeat the foes who stand against us. Velzard finishes. Raaaaaaaaaaaah. Everyone screams while charging towards the flying megalodons. Now then, let's sit back and watch this play out, Velzard says while creating a chair out of nowhere and sitting down. Lady Velzard. Shuna says, standing next to Velzard. Yes, Shuna. She replies. Is Shizu going to be alright? I know I already asked before and I'm not saying she's weak or your judgment is low, she says, but is cut off. No need to be so stiff. And yes, Shizu will be alright. After all, she isn't your everyday human. Velzard says while thinking back on how Shizu managed to land one single hit on Veldora, who even if with next to no guard is something, even Guy had to go full strength with his sword hitting in one spot and would undoubtedly faint, maybe even die. Okay. But to fight Charybdis alone, she says, still worried for Shizu. If she gets into a tough spot, I will help her out, Velzard says, trying to calm her down, which seems to work but only a little bit. Shizu Pav. Open double angle bracket. Charybdis. Even during my prime in the past, I doubt I could last even a second. Close double angle bracket, she thinks while drawing her sword, getting into position. Lady Velzard asked not to kill her, so I need to be careful and not get hit but also bring her down, she mutters. Shizue then gathers the courage and jumps up, coating her sword in a white flame, and uses the ultimate skill she gained from fighting Veldora for 3 months, Amaterasu, Lord of Blazing Sun. To make it hotter than the sun's core, which ignites trees in a 100 meters circle around her. However, since she is jumping up towards Charybdis, she starts to feel the flames heat, and by the time Shizue is above her on her back, she is practically winning in pain, which catches Shizue off guard as she hasn't even attacked yet. And Charybdis is falling to the ground winning, so Shizue jumps off as Velzard slowly comes walking down and uses another unique skill, Gluttony, and eats her, and separates Charybdis's core and finds that there is a Majin acting as the host for the core. Ho! Velzard mutters, forgetting that in the original timeline the Majin was tricked into becoming Charybdis's host. Is something wrong, Lady Rimuru? Asks Shuna, worried. No, nothing's wrong, Velzard says, bringing the Majin out of her skill, stomach, which is a sub-skill of gluttony. This is, Shuna says, looking at the Majin on the floor. The guy who broke my table, Velzard says, and kicks the guy repeatedly, breaking all of his bones. Everyone there makes a mental note to never break their master's tables. Ah, that's nice. Anyway, you over there, you can come out now, Velzard says, looking into the forest at a large beast man. So you noticed me, says the man. Well, you were quite obvious. Judging by your looks, I would guess you're Demon Lord Carrion, Velzard says while kicking the Majin over towards him. I suppose this guy is yours if you're here then. She continues. Yes, I apologize for my subordinates' idiocracy, he says confidently while inside he is screaming, hoping she doesn't blame him. Ah, no problem. He brought over an old friend, Velzard replies while patting his back, trying to reassure him. An old friend, Carrion says curiously. Charybdis, I once trained her when she had an ego. She lost it a while back, so I'm going to return it, Velzard says while asking Seal to return it. You trained the Calamity class Charybdis. They're considered stronger than a high Demon Lord seed, Carrion says, even more scared than before, as to be able to train a Calamity class you have to be at least disaster if not catastrophic class. Oh yeah, me and her go a while back, and as for you paying me back for him breaking my table, Velzard says, turning the conversation back. Your table? He says, confused. Yes. He broke my table when he walked in. Velzard says, furious but calms down. How about some relationships between nations? He says, trying his best to get on her good side. Just what I was thinking. As for the specifics, I believe we should discuss those at a later date, Velzard says, wanting to finish this up. As do I. Anyway, I should head back and teach my subordinates some lesson on not breaking tables, Carrion says while walking away, sweating a little. Anyway, Charybdis, your name is kind of long, I will change it to Akira. Velzard names Charybdis Shoji, meaning bright and clear dawn, in Japanese. Akira. Thank you, Auntie Velzard, says Aki through thought communication as she is still in stomach. Okay, Akira. In private you can Velzard, but in public call me Rimuru. Okay, Velzard says, trying to keep her identity a secret. Okay, Akira says, wanting to get out. Great, then let's head back to Tempest, Velzard says out loud, signaling everyone to head back. In Tempest, 1 month later. Lady Velzard, Shizue says, knocking on Velzard's office door. Come in, Shizue, Velzard says, letting her in. I have a request. She says, a little down. Is it about those kids? Velzard says, knowing what is bothering her. Yes. I don't want to rush you, but she kids only have about 1 or 2 years left until their magicals overflow and kill them. Shizue replies, wanting to save the children that were summoned and then abandoned due to being too young and not being able to control the overflowing magicals inside of their bodies from the summoning process. We will leave in 3 days, Velzard says, not even lifting her head. Wait, really? Shizue says, as if seeing a ray of hope. We will take Ranga with us, Velzard says, knowing everyone will want to come with her. Ranga. Doesn't he still need to train and get grips on his new powers? Shizue says, worried that he might lose control of his newfound power. No need to worry. He has already trained it enough to beat lower level true demon lords, so around disaster class, Velzard says, confident he is strong enough. Thank you. You have no idea how much this means to me, Shizue says, almost crying with happiness as she has finally managed to convince herself that the children will be saved. Well, I should start to pack and get Ranga ready, Velzard says while also sending a thought communication to her subordinates to announce her departure with Shizue. 3 days later, departure. Goodbye, make sure to look after Tempest while I am out. Velzard says while leaving with Ranga, Shizue and the idiot trio Ellen, Cabal, Guido, to make her adventurer card to get into Engraia with the children. Lady Rimuru, Shizue says while looking at Velzard who is walking next to Ranga who is running at full speed. Oh yes Shizue, Velzard replies. May I ask how you're going to save the kids? She asks. Well, I will take them to a friend of mine who will give them all superior spirits that will calm the raging magicules inside their bodies. That was Ifrit's original job for you, however he misunderstood it and it hurt you. So I will make my commands clear when I give them to the children, Velzard says, trying to make sure Shizue has no hatred towards Ifrit as he only misunderstood his orders from Demon Lord Leon Cromwell. That's why he gave me Ifrit. I thought he gave him to me so I could be useful. I never realized that spirits had that ability, Shizue says, starting to understand. But then why did he have Ifrit kill Pina? Shizue says, still not completely forgiving Leon. Ifrit took Pina's actions as an act of aggression towards his master and such killed him. Say someone called me an idiotic fool. All of my subordinates would most likely torture him, especially Diablo who has started to worship me as a god kind of like in Engraia from what you have said, Velzard said, clearing it up. Oh, that makes sense. If someone did call you that I would help Diablo with doing such, she says, admitting it would annoy her for someone to call her savior and friend an idiot. I will not completely forgive him, but I will give him a second chance, Shizue says, realizing Leon isn't completely a bad guy. Great. Now then, you 3 inches, Velzard says, looking at the idiotic trio. The 3 of them say, looking away with Velzard standing behind them and a fire ant's head in her hand. For those that don't get it, the trio stabbed an ant's nest while Shizue and Velzard were talking and Velzard had to clear up their mess. Small 2-day timeskip, entrance of Engraia. Hello. Velzard says to the man at the counter with Shizue's mask on and Shizue behind her. And you are? The man says, asking for Velzard's ID that she got at Bloomin with the help of the trio.
Here you go. My name is Rimuru, Velzard says while handing over her card. A rank adventurer, he says, startled by her ranking. Hey. She says, trying to play it off as other people start to look over after hearing of an A rank. Why, you may pass. First I have to check the lady behind you, he says, still shocked. Here you go, Shizue says as she hands over her card. C champion. Shizu Izawa, he says, almost fainting while other people start to swarm around. So may we pass now? Velzard says, trying to get away from all the people swarming her and Shizue. Why yes, go on through, he says, barely standing up. Thank you, Shizue says while they both leave towards the Freedom Academy's Grandmaster for Rimuru to start teaching and help the students. Meeting room. Grandmaster. These are some unusual statues. Velzard comments on the things around the room such as motorbikes and cars that don't exist in this world. Yuki said that they're things that are in the world he was in before he was summoned here, Shizue replies while also looking at the statues. Knock knock. A knock is heard from the door before it opens, revealing a 20-ish-year-old looking young man in a white suit. Hello, my name is Yuki Kagura, he started to introduce himself but slowly stops while looking at Shizue. Teacher. He says, startled. Hello Yuki, it has been a while. Shizue replies with warm eyes as if she has just met with a long-lost child. I thought you had died when you disappeared into the Jura forest, he says, almost shouting. Thankfully Lady Rimuru here helped me and I am forever indebted to her, Shizue says while looking towards Velzard who is still looking at the statues, not noticing Yuki and Shizue's reunion. Hello Lady Rimuru, Shizue says, trying to get her attention. Yes, hello. I suppose you're Yuki Kagurazaka, yes? Velzard says while noticing Yuki has arrived. It is nice to meet my teacher's savior. I must thank you as I don't know what I would have done if she died, he says while offering to shake hands, which Velzard agrees to. It is nice to meet you too. As for why I am here, Shizue told me you have some children here that are close to dying. Velzard says and releases the handshake with Yuki, who was sending a mind manipulation magic through touch which wouldn't affect her but still didn't want to seem too powerful, so decided to cut the connection to not raise suspicion. Ah yes, this way please, Yuki says, a little annoyed that he couldn't complete the spell in time but played it off. Outside the classroom, So this is the class. I can certainly feel the raging magicules, she says, studying the students inside the room with magic eyes similar to Milam's, Milami. Yes, I can't wait to see them again. I just suddenly left them though. Ehat if they hate me for leaving them, Shizue says as anxiety suddenly hits her. Calm down Shizue, I'm sure they won't hate you. In fact, they will most likely miss you. Velzard says, trying to calm them down, and opens the door only to have a flame get shot straight her and quickly moves to the side, barely acknowledging the attack, and moves to the side, making Shozu visible to the 6 students. Teacher. All of them shout and run over to hug her, and all saying they missed her and were waiting for her to come back. Calm down. I have someone who will help me teach you, Shizue says while looking at Velzard, who is sitting down in the teacher's chair reading a manga she borrowed off Veldora. Her? Says a ginger-haired boy. She seems odd, says an black-haired boy. She looks weak, says a ginger-haired girl. She may look weak, but she is definitely not weak. She could beat me with a slap of her hands. Shizue says, trying to get the kids to stop insulting the person she respects the most. You're just bluffing, teacher. No one can be that strong, says the ginger-haired boy. Yeah, says the other two. Lady Rimuru, is there a way to get them to see you in a positive light? Your ideas always work. Shizue says, glad that Diablo isn't here, otherwise they would be pulverized and begging to be spared. Well then. Today's first lesson will be a test. Velzard says, putting her book down and standing up, walking toward the children. They all gulp as if they made a bad decision. Ha. Such weak intimidation won't work on me, says the ginger boy while sweating a little. Well, let's see if that is the case, shall we? Says Velzard, walking back to the teacher's desk. Ranga. Velzard calls towards her shadow, and a large wolf figure appears behind them with a menacing aura, causing them all to sit down. First of all, let's start. If I call your name, you will reply with, here, okay. Velzard says with no AWNSER. Okay. Velzard says again with Ranga increasing his aura. Right. They all shout in unison. Great. Let's start with Kenya Masaki, ginger-haired boy. Here. Ryota Sekaguchi, black-haired boy. Here. Alice Rondo, blonde-haired girl. Here. Gail Gibson, brown-haired boy. Here. Chloe Aubert, black-haired girl. Here. Great. Then let's start the test, Velzard says while standing up. Why should we do a test when we're thing to die soon anyway? The other teachers leave us to do anything. Kenya says with a bored look on his face. Well, it may be called a test, but it is really a game. Velzard replies, which sparks their interest. Let's head outside and you will see, Velzard continued.